All right, you guys get ready to get rolling?
Yeah, let's send it down range.
You're listening to the Modern Dad Experience.
All right, welcome, welcome. You want to cheers in?
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Clickety,
Yeah,
clickety if you're not going to say it.
yeah, it's a coffee mug from Christmas full of coffee.
Nice. Nice. I
Little
got
Irish
the
coffee.
the Superman koozie. Let's go.
Got the Valhalla hat on for the Masters. Just throwing it out there. We'll get to that later.
Right. Right. Good to see you, boys. I
Yeah, you
missed
too,
you.
gentlemen.
I missed you guys at the poker tournament, the Dad's Club poker tournament last night.
Yeah, tell us how that went.
Sounds like a doozy.
Man, it was super fun. I've been waiting for this poker tournament for the entirety of my dad's club run. I heard about it. It was my most anticipated event, and then it proceeded to get canceled year after year. And finally, we made it happen this year. And I'd say there's about 20 of us, and it was a great time. Good cards. I finished just outside the money. Which I got my money in with the best hand. I had Ace King, Queen Nine drew out on me. Would have tripled up and been a real contender, but instead I was out. But it was super fun. Couldn't ask for much more. The guy who won it actually is a dad that I brought to the. I told him about it, and he's a Kennerly dad. And
Nice.
I was giving him some trouble because I invited him after his team kicked my team's ass in soccer. Now, it was our third game of the day and their first, so I think we had a little bit of fatigue going in. But so they beat us in soccer, and then I asked him to come to the poker tournament, and he took everybody's money. So
Oh
I don't know
my
what kind of a
gosh.
person he is, but special shout out to Travis from Kennerly. It was great having him, and I'm actually glad he won, man. He was a good time, and everybody had a good time. We could have done with a Blues win instead of an overtime loss, which was a bummer. We had that on. Um, they are starting to fizzle, which is not good. We got to win this next one, and I think maybe need some help. I don't even know, but yeah, great time. By the end of it, I was exhausted, and I mean, I've heard all these things. Last year or the last time they had it, there was frisbee golf and a lot of side games, but we didn't finish the main game till 1 a.m. almost, and I was toast after that.
I
Great
was going
time
to
though.
ask how late it started. So was it 8 p.m. start to 1 a.m.?
8 p.m. start. We probably didn't start playing cards till 8:30 ish, and then I think we finished right before 1 a.m. I was home and in bed by 1:30, 1:45. Um, but yeah, great time had by all. Wish you guys
Nice.
would have been there. We missed you. But hey, I mean that'll lead in. Brett, you had a 25-year high school reunion last night,
Yeah,
I
man.
believe.
We went out to Dogwood Social House in Ellisville, which is I've been to the one in O'Fallon. It's a pretty good time. You got axe throwing and like pool and darts and what else? Maybe not shuffleboard, but huge screens, tons of food and beer and people, all kinds of games. The place is pretty wild, and it was packed. So the Ellisfield Dogwood is pretty cool little experience. That was neat. Yeah. So I was on the fence to go. You know what I mean? I didn't go to the 10 year, the 5 or 15 or whatever there else there was. I guess it was just a 10. But I was like, how they say a big part of life is just showing up. And it's like, why not? So checked it out. Stayed. Saw a bunch of old people. It was great, man. A bunch of people had seen a long time. Put things in perspective. It's always good for the soul. So that was cool to run into some old peeps and kind of keep that thing alive. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, I think with high school reunions, like some people are ready after 5 years to get back together or 10 years. Like everyone's on a different timeline, and but it's good. It's good to go back to people you shared those formative years with and just catch up and see how things
yeah,
are
there were some stories where I was like, "Oh boy, wow, I kind of forgot about those things."
going.
But
Yeah.
all kinds of
Dug some things out of the back closet. You did,
yeah,
huh?
good, bad, ugly, all kinds of funny stuff. The president or the principal showed up too, which was kind of cool, and a couple teachers showed up, which is kind of cool. So, anyways, That was a good time. I kind of had the evening off. The family divided and conquered. Emily took Ben out for like a mom and son kind of hang out in the country with her mom and dad, and then Ivy did a sleepover, just kind of cool out at the Holodome again. So I was kind of solo and did that thing with some old peeps, and now just enjoying the Masters.
Nice. I don't have a great reason for not being at the poker game other than I didn't plan out my week appropriately enough.
Tisk, tisk.
But we did have a pretty epic weekend in terms of a soccer game. We saw the Minecraft movie, which is
How was
less
it?
it's less of a movie as it is a series of scenes put together. But but it was fun. Jack Black is just hilarious
Yeah, he's
throughout.
real.
He's the thread that keeps it together. And we had a great time. Like my kids were like 10 out of 10, and the other one was like 12 out of 10. So yeah, I highly recommend a good Minecraft movie.
I'm sure we'll check it out. Mine are into the Minecraft too.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Good
All
stuff.
right, you guys got wins, losses from the weeks?
Man, I'll tell you what. The whole weekend I just felt like a win. I had it partially to myself, which I haven't been able to say in like many years. The poker tournament was last night, and it takes a village, right? My wife and my oldest went out of town this weekend on a Girl Scout camp out, so they were out in Peevely. They left Friday evening before the third grade soccer game and volleyball game, and so they missed that on Friday, and they were out doing their Girl Scout camp, and so I had the little one to myself on Friday night, which was super fun. Kids, it's weird. You spend so much time with them, but when you get to have them alone, it's a different experience, and it's just a little bit more special. And I think back to my childhood, and those are certainly memories that are going to stick with you. So I like to lean into those for sure. And then Saturday was just the little one and I, who slept in mom and dad's bed with me. Probably the best night's sleep I've gotten in years. I went down with her. We stayed up a little late till 9, but we were in bed 9 till 7 a.m. The next day, which I can't say I do that anymore. Which it felt great, and we got up, had breakfast, and she had 3 soccer games, which was a lot. But they went fantastic. She had a couple goals, 2 wins and a loss, and so a neat day. And then Grandpa, she went over to Grandpa's house for a slumber party, which she had been super stoked about. Just very excited to get to spend some time with him, and I went to the poker tournament and came back to a house that was just me, which is an insane feeling, and I'd love to say I just sprawled out in the bed, but came home from poker, sat down and was watching lacrosse highlights and fell asleep on the couch for a minute. So I didn't only had the bed to myself for like a couple hours, but it felt great. And it actually feels great to have everybody back today. So it was just a fantastic weekend. So
Nice.
I mean, nothing crazy about it, but just kind of one of the good ones that I think I'll remember for a long time.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good to get those little breaks, right? As a dad, I mean, like it's hard to come by, and it gives you good perspective, like you're saying about how it's like great to have it alone and solo, but also kind of like gives you the reminder of what it is normally and how great that is, and just
It's like a little salt. You don't want too much salt. You want a little bit of salt so that you come back refreshed. There's more flavor in the regular day to day.
yeah. Like I had a similar thing with Jimmy's. I had the weekend off kind of on Saturday night, and then I woke up here Sunday for half the day solo, and it was like, all right, well, chill for a while, and but what else can I do? So you start kind of like, oh yeah, they're coming back. Maybe I'll do some things to surprise them and so forth. Clean, whatever. Not a big deal or anything, but it's kind of interesting what can come over you sometimes to do.
Yeah. Brett? What's your win loss for the week? Is it
Excuse
just
me. No, I don't think I have one necessarily. I was just going to say the divide and conquer thing.
I was
And,
gonna say you're in better shape than the high school bully. Was that a
yeah,
win? Did you get
I
guy picked on you? It's like he's pushing 350, and
you know what? My win was, I guess, that I drove a buddy last night and his wife to the thing and back out in Ellisville, and had enough in a long enough span of time to not drive, impaired. So that was good. That was cool to see him, and also just not have to Uber it and all that jazz. So
yeah.
So then you guys got like a mini catch up before you got there.
yeah, and then we went to a bar before that and saw a bunch of people who rented a room to kind of go as a big crew, but also hang out because you get there and then you get caught up. So I've never done this before. It was kind of an interesting move, but I thought it was pretty great because it gave
So this is
everybody.
like a traveling reunion, like
Yeah,
bros as you
correct.
went.
Yeah, and I was able to drive everybody from there too, which is kind of cool to save again more time, whatever. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, that was
nice.
cool.
We had a fantastic weekend. Definitely a win. So, we could obviously drive up to the soccer game, but we chose to hike it.
Yeah, I
And
saw you
so,
guys walk up there. That was awesome. I was like, Emma,
yeah,
look.
we hoofed it up there. Jane, she doesn't want to attend her brother's soccer game really, but she got to play with some of the kids, the older and younger girls that were there. That was fun. And then we got to hike back. It was just a really good all-around family outing. So,
Yeah, as soon as we got in the car, I go, wait, we're going to Long? And then we almost walked, but we usually show up 5-10 before, so not a ton of time. Um, but we drove anyways. But yeah, you did all right. Such a flash.
All right, hey, I'm not to interrupt, but I have to go on a dad mission right now, which I'm gonna bring you guys with me. There's a wasp in the house.
oh boy.
There's a wasp in the house, so I gotta go. We
Better
gotta go take
solve
care
the
of
issue.
business. Yep. All right, where's said wasp?
Watch us, watch us. We're gonna see somebody get stung right now in the face.
That would make for some good
That's how the pod goes
content,
viral is Jimmy gets stung
probably.
in near his eye and it swells up.
Oh, I see him. I see him.
Oh, have mercy!
Hold on.
Uh,
All of a sudden, you just hear cussing and
Send his
yelling.
ass
hey,
outside
hey, Brett, how's
so
your
I don't have to
beekeeping
kill
license
him.
coming? You done with that?
Maybe,
Man,
maybe I'll
it's
do it.
interesting you asked. I'm at a dead stop because I took the classes, I did all the stuff. I went to the
Game over.
next phase. I did all the things I needed to do, right? Like,
Hold on, I might have to go
and
close
then
to
you
the.
start doing
I got
where
him.
you visually look at hives with a group out at the bee place and fend his bees. Anyways,
No, he's outside.
nice.
I'm back. I'm back. Did you get the action shot or no?
We
No, it's all
didn't. We
broken up.
lost you. We thought you went down with the ship.
No, I'm good.
So,
I'm safe.
so we're still close to going and getting the bees, even though they say don't wait till April to do it. They have some extra hives. So we're still
Yeah.
thinking about. When I say we, it's a buddy of mine that I know that we were going to do it out at the farm with, and but I stopped because of time, literally, and because it's gotten into April, it's like I don't want to rush it either. You know what I mean? I'd rather consider and waiting until next year. My uncle does it, so I was thinking about joining him still with some hives and kind of still learning a bunch this summer, but maybe waiting. We'll see here in the next week or two. Then I'll know for sure.
Okay, so the plan was never to keep them in your backyard.
It started like that initially, but then there became, I think, a good potential for up the street would be neat. But we have a place out in the country where my buddy and I were going to do it. I know some people nearby out there who do it. So then we thought, okay, let's either start there, and if it works, we can always split the hive. If you start with two boxes, we could bring one here. And I know some people that like to move hives around St. Louis to kind of help pollinate different areas. So we might be able to move one here nearby without having to, you know what I mean, go set up another one. So, anyways,
Nice,
some options.
cool. Yeah, well, our first year in the house, we had a queen visit the house, but then move on. But her pheromones were still in the air, so a bunch of bees still stayed thinking she was here, and it was a pretty chaotic 48 hours.
Where did she post up at? Were the whole crew, or just were they just?
So this was like 10 years ago, and my catty corner neighbor kept bees in the backyard.
Ah,
One of his queens took off,
yeah.
stopped at our house, and then went on down to the neighbors. I don't know where they ultimately posted up, but she was here long enough that a bunch of them got confused and stayed in our house.
Nice. Um, nice.
Jimmy, you back?
I'm back. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Jimbo's back.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back. Can you see me? I'm saying reconnecting.
Welcome. Good job on
Welcome.
getting rid of the wasp.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep, we got you. Just glitchy, but you're good.
Yeah,
All right.
all that moving
I'll
around,
pose this question to
it's
you.
affected the Wi-Fi, I
What
think.
lesson inside a lesson have you come across at some point in your life? And anything come to mind when I say that?
Yeah, one I was always told was time goes by anyways, so stop and do it right. Like
Oh, okay.
it's gonna happen anyways, so you might as well do the process. You don't have to come back and do the process. And when you do the process in the future, you'll be more inclined to do it. I mean, I've taken that onto my own form, but it's really just about stopping and taking the extra few seconds here and there. Maybe it's a few seconds, maybe it's 30 seconds, right?
Do you have an experience where that came to light? Like what
Yeah,
when
with
you
my
when you
kids especially, because I'll stop. I'll use that same method and I'll stop and go, you know what? If anybody needs an extra 5 seconds of me looking into their eyes or, holding their face or touching their shoulders and looking at them and making them understand that I'm truly there, like listening and sharing with them, it's them. So I try and apply it there. It's not always easy, but to answer your question, that would be it. Should probably try that more in my other relationships. But yeah, just to stop with them, and then you realize that they have something to say or they're thinking something, and they are always very appreciative when you know what I mean. If anything, they're like, "Dad, Dad, Dad."
nice. I
I'm not
like
the
that.
best listener. Yeah, so
What about you, Jimmy?
Oh man, I don't know. I think we had talked about some earlier. Leaving if you borrow somebody's car, filling the tank when you return it, that type of stuff. I think maybe outside of all those things, maybe the most important thing is just like treat other people like you want to be treated. I mean, it doesn't take much to be nice and kind and empathetic to what other people have going on because you never know. I mean, you look at
yeah,
somebody, maybe they got a scowl on their face, but you don't know the reason why. And as long as you treat everybody kind of how you want to be treated, most of that's going to take care of itself. The
yeah.
golden
Reminds
rule,
me of
whatever.
what my mom would tell me as a kid. Talk to others like you want to be spoke to. Speak to others. You know what I mean? Like exactly. We're basically the same thing, right? But
Yep.
words have major power. So it's like to your point, you could lift somebody up just by going, you know, hey, how's your day? Or whatever. I
Yeah.
try and share that with the kids, or I'll even try and do it here and there. But
I think it's a really good point because like we can't tell on the surface what's going on with people. Like even I mean we live such comparative lives. We're like, oh, that person has it easy or has it better, but truly like we're all trapped in some kind of mental prison that we need to be unlocked from sometimes. So I think that's a good reminder just to check in on people and treat them fairly.
yeah, no, I think you make a good point, especially
Yeah,
about like, yeah. No, go ahead.
Jimmy stole mine about returning the car with a full gas tank.
I did that on purpose, Levi. It's a great one. It's fantastic. But you can lay it out there. I just brushed it, But I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like a staple, right? And it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a car, but anything. Somebody lends you something, you give it back to them cleaner. You give it back to them in pristine
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah, I was so this winter when I borrowed Brett's snow plow, it was tearing me up that I was returning it without refilling the gas tank. What it was like some odd like 56-1
Yeah.
oil to gas ratio, and I was like, well, I could screw this up real bad if I do it wrong. So I didn't fill it up. I wanted to.
Yeah, way to go, Levi. You're the one who brought that up, and you did it in action, and you failed. Like recently, that was winter. That was like a few months ago.
That's
I
funny.
just wanted Brett to know that I thought about it.
That's funny too, because I provided a gas tank just for that reason, and I filled it up I filled it up, and I think it got ran through. That thing was used throughout the neighborhood. It was pretty great. I'd go outside and hear it going, "Brrrr," and I was like, kick ass.
All right, what's cracking on the Masters? What have you guys enjoyed?
I don't know, Brett.
Oh, man.
You seem to be you're in a room where you're possibly watching it. I'm outside, so I haven't seen it. I love
It's,
the fit. Rory,
it's,
Rory, and DeChambeau is such a great pairing for the final
yeah, dude.
pairing because Rory's
It's going
like
to be,
PGA poster boy, and DeChambeau is like live tour. Like it's the two polar opposites of golf. Clashing head to head, which is great. What do you know what the count is right now, Brett?
I don't.
Oh,
I think they just teed off like an hour or 10 minutes ago at 2:30, so 3:30 our time maybe. I think it's just getting started with the leaders.
right. They're they're
So
they're 4 or 5 holes
Rory's,
in. Yeah, they're 4 or 5 holes
Oh,
in.
for
I'm
real?
six. Yeah,
Hang on.
yeah, Rory's -12 and DeChambeau's -9 right now.
9. That's where they were when I stopped
Whoa,
watching. What hole are they
whoa.
on?
I don't have that right now. One sec. Was that did you guys see the clip of I think it was Rory's daughter nailing that putt?
No.
No. What, just like in a
Yeah,
kids tournament or something?
yeah, it was like a practice round or something, and it was like a 30-foot putt. It was crazy.
Nice. Speaking of golf, Jimmy, how's it going with the girls?
Good. Good. They got one more. I think they got one more lesson. Um,
Nice. That's good.
and
I like it.
it's been great. They like it. I like it. Last week was super windy, so I didn't take the clubs out. But a couple weeks I've gotten a big bucket of balls and swung my sticks, which I rarely get to do anymore. So
Do you used to
yeah,
play at all?
did I used to play golf? I used to play
Yeah, on
golf
the
all the
reg or anything?
time. I used to play
Because
all
we're
the
trying to get
time.
a league going. I quit my Thursday league, and we're trying to get a league going. I got 3 or 4 guys. We want 8, but
Yeah, man. I would
just
love
9 holes. Just
9
9.
holes. Where are you playing at?
5 to 7 at Tapawingo on Tuesdays is the idea. If anybody out there is listening and wants to try and join,
5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on
I mean
Tuesdays.
5:30 to 7:30, give or take, somewhere in there. It's not the greatest, but it's like Tuesday night's a night that could work. I don't know how your
I,
schedule is.
I might be able to figure something out. I think we got piano on Tuesday nights. Girls
There's a
on
few
the
people
run,
that have.
piano. I don't know. I might be able to make it work.
It'd be awesome to get golf back in life, wouldn't it? That's
Oh,
why
it sure
9. Like,
would.
and if people can show up and play 9 before then, good, great. But the idea is just 9, and then you get the hell out of there, or you stay in the
Yep.
sunset beer patio.
Yep. Understood.
Anywho, Levi, you play? Get the sticks out. Let's go.
I haven't played in a long time, but I can drink along and walk along.
Nice. We want you to play.
Yeah.
I'm probably
Sorry.
the best like 2 beers in. I'm
Yeah, swinging
really
on
good for 2 or 3 holes.
And then
Cool.
you hit that tipping point where you've had too many beers and it starts to go downhill. I think we've
Yep,
all been there.
yep. Gotta get loose. Same
Yep.
same in pool.
Oh yeah.
What's going on with Frost Festival?
The sign up is out. Fall Fest is live. Sign up. We already got, it looks like 15 or so people. It just went up a couple days ago, but it looks like about 15 people for the music, food, and beer portion, more
And
or
we
less, that signed up and donated and said, like, we want to come there for family fun. And then we got a couple people signed up for the Frisbee golf portion. So I think here in a few days, a week, we'll just have more and more and more. Just keep spreading the word about the new playground, cold beer, barbecue, live music, and we may even
bonfire.
have, we're not sure yet, but we may even do a second band after Steve Ewing to close out the evening with some like acoustic picking, but not 100%. I'll stop there. Anyone else? Anyone else want to bring
No.
some goods?
No, super
I'm
excited
gonna
about it.
Check
I'm
out
gonna
the long
sign up
PTO
now.
board to sign up or reach out
Yeah,
to us or
can we get a QR code, put it on the video portion of this
Yep.
podcast?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll have the intern do that.
Cool.
Have the intern do that.
Good idea.
That's great. That's great.
You guys got any closing remarks before we close out?
I was trying to think of what else. Is there something else happening? Any
There's
Easter
all
egg hunts
sorts of
coming
stuff
up?
out. What's that?
I said I thought I saw a big Easter egg hunt in the park yesterday when we had soccer, but I guess it wasn't. Is there any?
No,
You guys going to?
there was a big Easter egg hunt yesterday, or yeah, yesterday in the park. There's a
Cool.
thousand people behind my house, and I walked outside, and they were like all lined up, and there was like partitions, and I'm like, what in the hell is going on behind my house? And there was a couple of third graders. I saw Cece and Rosie, and I waved, and they were yelling at Abby's dad, and so I saw Dan down there, and I texted him. I'm like, what is going on behind my house? And he said Easter egg hunt. So yeah, we weren't a part of it, but I did see it. I think there's another one coming next week, but. Yeah, man, Easter's coming. We got, family parties, but Monday's coming too, so we got school and work and everything else. It's hanging on for dear life.
Good, yeah. Good work, buddy.
Yeah, now's the sprint to the end of the year, right?
Yep.
Man, I need another one of those. Go ahead.
I can't even believe how fast everything's going. I mean, we're a quarter of the way through the year already. I mean, just jamming. The older I get, the faster time passes. The closer to the end I get.
That means you have to go to bed earlier and wake up earlier.
Just like Benjamin Franklin said.
It's just the only way to capture time. I'm sorry. I'm not saying it's fun or it's what you want to do, but the only thing I've come up with is take more photos, go to bed earlier, and rise earlier. Or stay up later and rise earlier no matter what. To enjoy more of the time. That's dangerous too.
Well, I'm not going to miss Frost Festival. I RSVP'd and donated just now.
Really?
It's pretty easy. You can
You're
do
a good
it in
man.
30 seconds or less.
Good. We're going to need a little more donation than that. Your logo is on the top of the banner.
I didn't say a number.
Anything else, gentlemen? Can we think of anything else? Levi, any
No,
dad
we got
wins?
we got guests coming soon. I promise. I've been speaking on it forever, and I saw a couple of them last night at the poker tournament, and they're just not quite ready. One of them's got a cold, so he said, I don't want to be sniffling over everybody. And I said that we don't want that either, but we'll get there. I think. Bring it back. There's a couple dads around here that listen to us all the time, which I'd love to have them on.
Yeah.
And some of the OGs, and we're all fun and all, but there's just so much more to offer here.
If you're listening, if you tune in and you want us to cover something specific, let us know. Comment, shoot us a text, whatever.
That's the next iteration. People start engaging us so that we can kind of customize this, and I look forward to that. I know it's we're still new and we're still raw, but I'm having fun still, and I think the sky's the limit for us and for this community. So let's let everybody jump in. Let's make it huge.
Yeah. We're ready to dive into some heavy dad issues all the time, 24/7. Let's go.
Your daily dad.
Your daily dad, daily dose.
All right, you guys want to cheers out?
Later, boys.
Cliggity, cliggity.